For an upgrade of my homemade bandsaw, I made new pulleys to replace the old V-belt drive with the new Pulley V-belt drive. And therefore I was 3D printing the raw pieces of the pulleys, which I then finished turned on the lathe. And the one for the wheel that goes around the bearing flange turned out very nice. And then I made one for the motor that has a cross pin through it to transfer the power. And also that turned out quite nice until I turned on the motor. Ah, shit. You can't see it anymore, but here was the same slot as here for the cross pin. But my mistake was that I didn't make any solid layers to the outside, so the force or the torque from the motor can be transferred to the outside. And just the infill was taking all that load, and you can see how that ended. So now I want to make a new one, but this time instead of printing the raw piece, I'm going to make it out of this solid piece of polyethylene. Unfortunately, I can't use the bandsaw to cut this out.
The bandsaw really is the best tool for cutting this stuff. The jigsaw works as well, but it's just not good at removing the chips out of the saw curve, and that makes it rather slow. Next I drilled a hole at my center mark for my router circle jig. I have a separate video about making and using this jig on my channel, and I'll put a link to that video in the video description. As you can see, the big advantage of my jig is that the router can remain in the same position, which won't tangle up the cord or the shop vac hose. And I don't have to mount the router anywhere, I can just drop it in place and use it. With a about 10 mm deep cut, it was much easier for the jigsaw to cut through the rest. And after that I cleaned the rest of the blank with a flush trim bit at the router table. That preparation will save time at the lathe. At the lathe I have a faceplate where I can mount the blank with double-sided tape, and I can use the center hole from before to mount it centered. Then I started with cleaning the outer diameter. Right here I switched to a higher feed. After that I turned a tenon on the end so I can mount the blank in the chuck without the live center. I had quite a bit of material to remove, but turning polyethylene is a lot of fun. With the last cut I also plunged to my target depth and cleaned the surface of the tenon. And finally I cleaned the front face for no good reason actually, just for fun. Then I could remove the blank from the faceplate and mount it the other way. I stuck 3 small magnets to the chuck jaws to prevent them from interfering with the inner edge of the tenon, since I didn't make a relief cut there. Then I cleaned the face and turned the blank to its final diameter. With that done, I installed a 13 mm drill bit in the tailstock to remove the bulk of the material of the center hole. And then I turned again to the final dimension. The last step here is a chamfer. To turn the profile of the Pulley V-belt, I have a pointy 40-degree tool, and I plunge about 2.1 mm deep radially. The V-grooves need to be exactly 2.34 mm apart from each other, and I just have to repeat this 5 times for my belt. Finally, I rounded over the sharp edges left from the tools with a card scraper, and then it's done. I made the chamfer on the other side at a drill press.
Next comes making this slot here for the crosspin of the motor shaft. For me, with the tools I have, the easiest and quickest way to do that is with the PantoRouter. The table needs to be vertical. The follower is in the center hole of a big tenon template. In the router I have a chamfering bit which will help me centering the pulley. And the pulley can sit in this piece with a hole so I can clamp it properly. I now securely clamped the pulley in place, switched out the chamfering bit for a router bit, put the follower into the groove so I can make the motion, and also set a depth stop. And now I'm ready to go. Quick check if the pin fits. Looks good. Now of course I need to deburr that, but I can do that with a chisel quite easily. Okay, time for a test fit. Perfect. And it runs perfectly true. Okay, and that's basically it for this video. If you want to see this running and also the reasons why I built this and why I did the upgrade from a regular V-belt to a Pulley V-belt, I have a link in this video's description to another video where I show that and explain all of that and also show a lot more about this homemade bandsaw. So I hope to see you there.